So this is number 3 on the homework for 8.2 and 8.3. Test the claim below, identify the null hypotheses, alternative, blah, 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 all those pieces. The health of the bear population in a national park is monitored by periodic measurements taken from the anesthetized bears. A sample of 51 bears has a mean weight of 178.3, assuming sigma is known to be 122.3. Use a 0.05 significance level to test the claim. That's always the first word you actually want to look for. That the population mean, mu, of all such bears is greater than 145. So we know that we're talking about mean, mu. That means we're either going to be using Z or T tests. The hypothesis is mu, let's see, is greater than 145. So then the null hypothesis is just equal to 145. Remember that the null is always equal to, and the other words come from the problem. So it would be letter D. It's got the greater than and the equal to. You could cross out B because it doesn't have equal to. You could cross out C because it doesn't have equal to. You could cross out A because it doesn't have equal to. So D is the only one that makes sense there. And then we are asked for the test statistic and the p-value. And that's where we're going to go to our calculator. Both of those items are going to be given to our calculator. Because the sigma is known, then we are going to choose the Z test. And I'm going to go ahead and write down what we need here, and then we'll type it in. So remember that you always start with the number from your hypothesis. Instead of H sub 0, it's mu sub 0, but same thing. The sigma is given to be 122.3. The X bar is from the sample of bears, so that's 178.3. N is the number of bears, so that's 51. And the last thing we need to know is the symbol, so we're going to choose the greater than symbol. I've actually already put that into my calculator. And so stat tests, number 1 is the Z test. So if you need to pause for a second, you can plug all those in. Make sure that, I think I wrote them in the right order. Yes, make sure that you've got it all there. So pause if you need to. Now that all your data is there, when you come down, I always recommend that you hit draw. I know the videos may have said calculate, but I like draw because sometimes it shades it in, yay, but it gives you the exact two things you want. There's the test statistic. It's going to be either a Z-score or a T-score, and our p-value is also there on the side. So we go back here, 2 decimal places for the Z-score, so that was 1.94, and the p-value also on the screen was 0.0259. Usually it's all 4 places. And then remember, you're going to make a decision based on the p-value versus the alpha. Now, the p-value you just found, 0.0259. The alpha is the significance level, which will always be given to you. So here we have 0.05. All you have to do is compare them. 0.0259 is less than 0.05. If you look back in your notes, less than is like low. And so we encouraged you to remember a silly little phrase. If the p is low, then the null must go, which means we're going to reject the null hypothesis. So then we can come over here and say reject. There's only 2 options. If the p is less than, it's reject. If it's greater than, it's failed to reject. And then you're going to look on your chart that has the sentences, and I think I actually have that pulled up, even though I forgot we were doing that. On the second page of your formula charts behind chapter 7, you've got this paragraph, or this chart here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so remember, you pick the side on the left, and then it tells you the sentence on the right. For our situation, we had reject, So that's either going to be number 1 or number 3. And then you look back at the original claim, and the original claim had the greater than symbol. That was the claim. We didn't claim equality, we claimed inequality. So when you look on your chart, you're looking for does not include equality. And so that's going to be sentence 1. There is sufficient evidence to support the claim. And in this sentence, all we have to do is click the is. Sometimes you also have to click the support or reject the claim. And that's all I need you to do.